We vibing with another show. Tell me everybody, can you catch this flow? We're breaking down mental class sentence so you know who we win. Tony Dixon and Friends. They tell me that the sky's the limit. Your purpose calling you, baby, you make the difference. Take charge, do you know who you win? Tony Dixon and Friends. Who we win? Tony Dixon and Friends. Yeah, yeah. Tony Dixon and Friends. Tony Dixon and Friends. Who we win? Tony Dixon and Friends.
Welcome back to the Tony Dixon and Friends podcast, where we have real life conversations about life, leadership, and impact for your life. I'm Eric McCalpine, and I'm here with my big brother. That iron sharpens iron. He always reminds me of that. Iron sharpens iron. Mr. Kecalf Bailey.
What's up, man?
What's going on, KBZ?
Doing good, brother.
Man, life is good, man. How you been?
Been good, man. No complaints here.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. And then I'm also here with the former Dallas Cowboy. I'm also here with the second round draft pick, but a #1 best-selling author, big brother, Mr. Tony Dixon. TD, what's going on, baby?
What's up, man? So you just gonna throw it out in the atmosphere.
Hey, that's
I
it,
love
man.
it.
That's
You know, y'all can help me get there too. If you go to TonyDixon.com, it'll give you information on Beyond the Glass, my first book.
Come on, Beyond the Glass, man.
Yes,
Dealing with life and purpose, man. Hey, first off, I want to give a shout out, man. I got to give a shout out to all my family over in Mississippi. Man, we got a lot of great supporters that check us out over in Mississippi with Pastor Robert Berry and the Word of Life Church that's over in Jackson, Mississippi. And now they also have a fourth campus in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So the Word of Life Church, Pastor Robert Berry, and your entire congregation, thank you all for all of the word and all of the support and encouragement that you all give us. Thank you so much, man. You guys go out and continue to be great, man.
Yeah.
What you got, Kel?
Yeah, man. I want to give a shout out to the men's ministry at my home church, Greater Starlight Baptist Church in Covington, Louisiana. I specifically call out the men's ministry there because when I shared that, hey, we're doing the podcast, they're always checking in on me. Shout out to Deacon Matt. Shout out to Deacon Moore, who's a Dallas Cowboy fan that you met.
That's my guy. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Yep. And my big brother Deacon Williams there at the church, and so many others, man, that just continue to encourage me and encourage us about the podcast. So shout out to the men's ministry.
Hold on, before we get in trouble though, what's the mother name? What's the sister name?
Oh, Miss Maddie? Oh, yeah.
Hey, Miss Maddie.
Yes.
Good to see you, Miss Maddie.
Yes.
If you can zoom the camera in, oh, Tony.
Yes.
The #1 Dallas Cowboy fan,
Yes.
Miss Maddie. Good to see you.
Oh, she gonna love it.
What you got, man?
Hey, man, I just want to give a shout out to some of the former NFL guys. I had an opportunity to hang out with some of my former teammates not too long ago, and man, they showed a lot of love for the podcast. You know, it's one of those situations you never know who's watching. So, you know, to my teammates out there, I appreciate the support, appreciate the love, and, you know, definitely reach out. Let's catch up.
Come on, man. Hey, it was been something that's been on my mind, man. And earlier in my marriage, you know, when my wife and I were married, I would come home frustrated about some activities and things that happened at work. I was a leader, and I would always question why don't people get it? Why don't people understand why they go to work, or why do people not understand what they're expected to do? Why do people not do the right things? And earlier on in our marriage, my wife hit me with this line. She looked at me in my face and said, "Eric, not everybody thinks like you." I was like, what do you mean not everybody thinks like you? Later on, I realized after going through some training, developing, she told me that, hey, everybody has different motivations in life. Everybody has different things that they're trying to accomplish. But later on, going through personality style training with work, and then I also have to give a shout out to one of my mentors, Mr. Mark Holmes, who's the author of the book Selling to Elon. In his book, he identified 4 personality traits. He had the energetic driver, the likable communicator, the obliging helper, and the numbers thinker. And in that, over time, since we started having our conversations with the podcast, I go back and I relate that to your mental health. I realize that when I'm able to identify people's personality styles, the way they think and the way they receive information, it helps me to deliver that information to them. And once I'm able to take a step back and realize that it's not about me, I'm trying to deliver information to you, I'm able to go back, rework the way that I'm trying to communicate with them and give them the information that they need. I realize in some cases, some people are numbers thinkers. Some people want to know what the bottom line is, or some people want to know the targets that you hit, the goals that you've accomplished. Some people want to know the process that you're going through in life. You know, some people want to receive the information in today's world. Some people communicate via text message. Some people communicate better via telephone call. Some people communicate better in person. And once I started to realize, as my wife told me earlier on in life, but then getting professional mentorship, not everybody thinks like you, it helped my mind so much, man. It helped me become a better communicator. It helped me become a better co-worker. It helped me become a better husband, sister, brother to my sisters and brothers, and just become a better citizen, man. And it's just so refreshing to identify personality styles and the way that other people think. And I think with this podcast, we've been able to see that as well, because we saw the development of Kecalf and how he was, you know, a lot more reserved because he was trying to figure out what this was all about. And now Kecalf has decided to, now that he's been able to receive the tape, receive the way and the vision of the podcast, Kecalf is all in. He's leaning in. And now he's opened up. And now I realize that, hey, Kecalf and I have conversations. You know, it's the Tony Dixon and Friends podcast, but Kecalf and I have to make sure that we're on the same page with the conversation because he's a planner. Tony can come in and come off the cuff because you always, I'm like, hey, what we talking about? All right,
let's go.
this is it. But Kecalf and I have already had some thoughts and identified conversation topics. And I think a lot of people see the impact of what we're able to accomplish with knowing each other. And it comes through the podcast. And that's been so refreshing to me, man. You know?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I mean, what you're laying out really is cheat codes here, because when you can identify that in others with how they receive information, how they process information, what's going to motivate them to take action, and you can structure your communication with them in that way, it's life changing. You're able to get things done. It's really the cheat code when it comes to it. And I love how you brought that back to us. I mean, because we all talked about it. Analytical, it has to make sense to me. Until it makes sense to me, I'm going to be more reserved until I figure it out, right? But once I figure it out, let's go, baby. We're ready to ride. And so that's just the way that it is. And it's really that perfect dance with being able to figure that out about people. And when you get into that space, the possibilities are endless.
No, I love because as you was talking, the first thing I thought about was, and you said it is not about me. And I just had an epiphany as we're going through it. Being honest, this is off the cusp. Like, I've taken a Hogan assessment, I've taken a DISC assessment, I've done all these other assessments, and I've spent so much time trying to think about how I was analyzing me during that, and not realizing that I was actually studying how to analyze others. And I think you all said it best, because when you think about the spaces that you fit in, right, or how to bring the greatest impact, part of it is being able to assess, like, which part of your strengths to bring out. right? So if you're going in and you don't understand the strengths of others, and you have the selfish intent in walking in a room, and you wonder why nobody understands you, is because you didn't take the time to be empathetic enough to understand them, right? So, for example, like I had always said that I wasn't creative, so I would always try to put myself in the room with people who are artistically creative, because I knew, or at least I had told myself, that I don't do good at creating that. I can't design this, I can't design that. But the reality of it is, I'm not the initiator of the design, but I found out problem solving is a strength of mine through going through the work. And problem solving within the spirit of creativity was, once you give me examples, guess what? I now have an opinion.
Yeah.
And then sometimes a strong opinion. But now that I see it together, I can help build a framework, and it connects it to ways that those who are the heavy artistic creators hadn't thought about it the way I think about it. So that's what I thought about when you were thinking about it. It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's about we.
That's it. And when you think about the we, oftentimes we find ourselves in difficult conversations because we think about it's about me. Hey, I need to tell you something. I got to get this off of my chest, or hey, I got a point that I'm trying to prove. But the other person is not in the position to receive it the way that you're trying to deliver it to them. When you think about when you're trying to wake up in the morning and I need to tell somebody something, and we said it in a previous episode, you expect immediate response. But in some cases, you may be a person that may operate off of impulse, but the person that you're communicating to may operate off of structure. So if I give them that information in enough time, they're able to digest it and they're able to plan. You know, at my house, I'm gonna bring it home. You all have met my wife and my daughter. My daughter's a mini me. You know what I'm saying? My daughter, when Erin wakes up in the morning, her feet hit the ground, she's ready to go. She's got to have something to do. Yeah. My wife is not like that. My wife can stay at home and she's able to stay around the house. She doesn't have to leave the house. She oftentimes say, I have a lovely home. But earlier on, that caused conflict because we were trying to I expected her to get up. You got to go with me. You got to go with me. Come on, come on, come on. But what I realized is that she gave me my space to go out and be free and do what I need to do. So now in the mornings, well, this was before my daughter got a cell phone, because now since she got a cell phone, it's all about her and the flossy posse, her and all the friends on the phone. But my daughter and I would be the ones that would go to the store. My daughter and I would be the ones that go put gas in the car. My daughter and I would be the ones that go wash the cars and just go out and give my wife that time to detox, to be at home alone. And when I found that that was her language, that was her communication style, that was her safe space, I was able to give that to her. And once I gave that to her, she never asked me and Erin where we were going. She let us go. And that caused so much peace. It caused so much peace, man. And I think that oftentimes too many people are trying to force their ways on other people, man, whether it's at home or whether it's at work, man. You know?
No, I mean, really, it's you look at it. What stands out to me in that is the word service, right? Being a servant, okay? And what I hear in that, I mean, I think a lot of times people might look at that and look at the word serving in a negative way, you know. But really, when you what you just did there is understood what was going to give your wife energy, okay? And you align those efforts, you align those things. You took the time to find that out, right? And so what that opened up for your relationship, for the way things run in your house, was pretty powerful. And that mindset extends beyond the house, right? So we work with customers all day long. They light up when you take the time to find out what's important to them, their business. How would they like this presentation structure, right? And when you do that, And I've been in situations that I've taken that approach with customers, and where in the beginning, conversations with them was more like a battle to get to one place, to where now conversations is like we're in a room as consultants together to find a solution for the problem, right? I mean, it just changes the whole dynamic when you take that approach with people. But when people think that you're trying to force your opinions, your thoughts, or whatever it is on them, you're gonna run into roadblocks. Yeah, but
Not everybody thinks like you, man.
And I love the servant, bringing servant into this, because, you know, to piggyback off what you said, it's the difference between a transactional situation or relational situation. And when you're operating with a me attitude, it's all transactional.
Yeah.
Because I really don't care what you think. I need you to agree with what I'm saying. So I don't care. I'm gonna say everything I need to get you to agree, or I'm just gonna like keep pressing until you yield to my acceptance. But the difference is, even in that relationship with the customer, and in this case, the relationship with your wife, you found out what would make the relationship better, what's important to you. And unfortunately, what I think about is, you know, there were times even in my marriage where the effort to be transactional and make it about me actually created tension between us, which could have really ended the marriage. And it's so many people that bring in a transactional mindset and make it about them, and they get upset with their spouse for not yielding to what you want me to do, when you hadn't taken the time to ask them what, you know, and understand what they need and make it a relationship and have that servant mentality within a relationship. Because the reality is, that's when a lot of people walk away from what's good from them, because, man, she just wasn't doing right.
Yeah.
What she wasn't doing right with me? Man, I wanted her to go to the store with me, she wouldn't go to the store. What, I want her to travel with me, she didn't want to. But do she like traveling?
Yeah.
Do she like going to the store? Do you like traveling? Do you like going? Yeah, I do. She need to like what I like. We are unequally yoked.
Yeah.
We are unequally yoked. No, you're not. You have differences of opinion. It's not about you. What is their style? What is the love language? And once you understand that, it turns it from that transactional to that relational relationship.
Yeah. But hey, she need to like what I like.
She need to like what I like.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to get myself together.
Yeah. She need to like what I like. What? That's why you don't get divorced. Like, that's why you by yourself now.
But at some point, it's great to find a safety net with someone else that you can get help from,
100%.
whether it's you being around other married people, or in an example that I like to share, having a professional mentor. Oftentimes, as we're climbing the corporate ladder, you know, higher level executives tell you what, if you need something, reach out. You know, if you need something, reach out, find some time, put it on my calendar. You know, you're this hot up and coming hot shot. So guess what you're going to do? I'm going to do it. Guess who did it? I did. But there was one of my mentors that stopped me in my tracks. One of the guys told me, hey, one of the executives at my company said, hey, get on my calendar. And I did. But I told my mentor that. He was like, what are you going to talk about? I was like, I'm going to talk about this, this, and this. I'm going to talk about myself.
Yourself?
Stop. You get on my calendar first, and then I'll coach you through what their communication style was. Stop. Get on my calendar, and you and I are going to practice and role play what this conversation needs to look like, because you know yourself, but what you don't know is this person that you're trying to communicate to. I know them as an individual, but I don't know their mindset.
Right.
And when I did that, you know, and I think you all remember the time, my career had skyrocketed after that, because it's kind of like playing ball. I was able to recognize what the offense was doing. I was able to recognize what my opponent was doing. I was able to recognize, in this case, what the customer's communication style was. And I was able to understand what other executives and my other colleagues' communication style was. And what did the OJs say? Sometimes you got to give the people what? Give the people what they want.
Give them what they want.
Boy said OJ.
OJ.
And that's what I had to do. That's what I learned to do. And at that point, it helped me so much, and it helped my mind, man. It was just so free and so refreshing to realize that it's not about me. You know, and I know you mentioned that you said you coach a lot of people about communicating with other executives, right?
Yeah, I mean, but to be able to coach, I had to go be coached. You know, so Janelle Jones out there, she has a program that she called Bold, but it's Bold Organizational Leadership Development. And one of the things that she taught us through that was we had to go through a series of, you know, role play as an example. But she also challenged us to say what you want. You know, how many times do you go in meetings and you're standing back and not even expressing what you want? And then you're mad at somebody because they're not living up to what you hadn't told them you need.
Yeah.
You know, so Janelle, I appreciate you for starting that, because once I went through that process, I got with another executive coach. So Lori, you know, shout out to you, because I know you watch as well. And she took me through my saboteurs. And I never thought about it that way before, but some of the things that shows up in my personality that actually sabotages my ability to be successful. So it was cool to study that piece, because now I was studying why people have a misinterpretation of what I'm saying. Yeah. And here I am thinking the entire time that this is a strength, but sometimes the things that I thought were a strength to you and others were saboteurs, because it was a way of, like, as we've talked about, dimming my light as an example. So when I wasn't showing up confidently, then what did it mean to the customer when they hearing me?
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah,
that part. So why are we having a discovery meeting and this joker don't even know his business? Yeah. And so it was things like that, because I was afraid to step out, to be bold, to be thoughtful, to do the work, that sometimes was actually making the relationship worse or affecting my credibility as soon as I walked in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. And the key though is, this goes back to things that we've talked about before, is you can't do this stuff alone, right?
Yeah.
You just talked about, yes, you're in a position to coach now, but you first had to be in a position to be coached.
That's right.
To be able to get that. And then also what highlights to me out of that is being aware, right? And being open to be able to see what's there, and to be able to accept that. Because it's not easy to understand the things that you do that sabotage it, everything. And so being able to hear that and accept it and then take it to this space, that's key.
But it takes a certain level of maturity as well in order to be self-aware.
Absolutely. We were talking earlier about the evolution of this. Like, there's never a time when you stop being coached, right? Because what made you, uniquely credible for this room, at some point, those skills are going to be necessary for you to transition to another room, right? So, and as part of that, like, the coaching is an evolution to the level that you are today. You're never meant to stay at the same level. So when people say I made it, you made it to the next level. You ain't made it. Made it does not mean it's over. And I've said it before, success is not a destination, right? No, success marks the start of your next destination is what it is. Yeah. Because it's a continual process, it's continual improvement. And when you get to that point, it means you got more in you to get to the next part. But sometimes that same circle of people no longer are qualified to help you get to the next level. Doesn't mean the relationship is over, but this mean this ain't the relationship to help me get to the next level. Because guess what? You can't be mentored by your peers.
Come on.
You can be held accountable.
That's right.
You can be inspired, but your peer group it's not going to motivate you, because guess what? They on your level. Yeah. So how they going to tell you what's going on when they not up there?
Yeah. Because the language of that next room changes.
That's right.
That language of that next room changes, and you have to realize that, okay, I can communicate on this level this way, but when I go to the next level, I have to communicate a different way. When I'm dealing with a different type of customer, I have to communicate a different way. When I'm a leader, a national leader, when I'm in a different geography, I have to communicate a different way. And you have to be a student of the game. You have to be a student of the business. You have to be a student of your customer to understand that communication style. And once you're able to digest how other people think, whether it's geographically, whether it's positionally, whatever it is, you're able to deliver differently. Come on, Kecalf. You're able to deliver differently.
No, absolutely. It's so important. I mean, it just goes back to what we've been talking about, though, is get out of yourself, man, and find out, what others need around you, right? And when you can get to that place, that's where things start to change and to happen. So step out of yourself, look to others, have a servant's mindset. That'll take you so far.
Yeah, I think there's. You mentioned it earlier, Tony. There's different personality style tests that you can take. There's some that may be available for you through
your employers. Yeah.
Through your employers, but there's other personality style tests that you can take, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're retired, that can help you out. And it doesn't have to be for a professional purpose. These can be personality style tests that you can take. Like I mentioned in my example, it helped me at home. And if you're willing to make that investment, you're able to understand better how to communicate with the other person. You're able to better understand when you're communicating better, it helps, man, make life so much easier, man. So many people struggle because they're talking at somebody and not to them. And that's because they try to make it, like I said, I don't want to keep repeating, but you want to make it about you. It's not about you. It's not about you, man.
We need a shirt.
We do. It ain't about
It's
you.
not about you.
Yeah.
About to get in the lab.
Yeah. But it's not about you, man. And when you're able to understand that it's not about you, it helps make life so much easier. I gave we talked about it behind the scenes before we got started. I travel for work. And I gave the example of I print out 2 calendars for my work schedule for the upcoming months. One of the calendars I mentioned I print out is for my wife. But the other calendar I print out for my mom. I had to get to the point that I realized I'm her youngest child, first generation corporate American. My work process, my work style is different and something that's unique. But I had to realize is that my mom is asking me that not to be nagging or not to worry, but that's her way of understanding. That's her communication style. She wants to know my place. And once I'm able to just give it to her and print it out, her energy goes like down. Like she feels like just stress-free. But it took me to get to that point of understanding that that's all she wanted to know. And when I was able to deliver that to her, she was just excited. And there's somebody out there right now that needs to communicate and find a better way to communicate to people, whether it's at your job, whether it's in your home, whether it's, at your church or whatever you're a part of, whether you're leading, a fraternity or a sorority. How do the other people think around you? How do the other people think around you? And I'm sure, TD, you're figuring this out with the book, taking the book around. Some people want to see it, hardback. Some people want to see it and listen to it audio.
Yeah, I've been on. They want me to do that. So why'd you bring that up?
But hopefully this was something that somebody can take away, man, to understand that it's not about you, man. Kecalf, what you think, man? Any parting words you got for us?
No, I mean, I think you hit it, the nail on the head. It's not about you, and find ways to serve those around you, and the power of that service is just going to pay off in so much more down the road.
TD, take us home, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. You know, obviously we're here to break mental glass ceilings. We hope this episode meant something special to you. If not, you know somebody that could use this. And please please share. And oh yeah, by the way, Beyond the Glass, you can go and find it on TonyDixon.com. It's on Amazon as well. We'll be back with you in a couple weeks with a new episode of Tony Dixon and Friends. I'm here with my homie, Eric McCalpine.
That's it.
My homie, Kecalf Bailey, and Tony Dixon.